today we are going to do the final steps on our graffiti project, and we are going to make a wall background, and we're going to cut out and glue our graffiti on, and then we're going to add any additional graffiti that we'd like to make on our wall. So let's get started. Alright, in order to make my wall, I am going to need some paint, and I've mixed up some black with a little bit of white to make a real dark gray, and then I'm going to need my little sponge, and my sponge is going to give some nice texture because where those little holes are, the paint isn't going to go down on the paper. So the key is to dip your sponge in the paint and make sure that it's all the way covered, but not too thickly. And then what we're going to do in order to make it look like a brick wall, if we went from top to bottom and made them go straight on top of each other, it wouldn't look very much like a brick wall because bricks are put down in a different way. And so what we're going to do to start at the top is we're actually going to go halfway on the paper and halfway off of the paper. We're just going to press it down lightly. And oh, it looks pretty good. And then now I'm going to dip it back in a little bit. And I'm going to leave a little bit of space. I don't want to overlap, and I'm going to go next to it. But I'm trying to keep the bottoms lined up because bricks go in a straight line. You might not have to dip it into the paint every single time, but you might want to. So try to keep them straight and with an equal space in between. Go all the way across, and your other final brick should end up going off of the page also. Then with our next row, what we're going to do is we're not going to start off of the page. We're going to start completely on the page. And what that will do is it will make it look more like a brick wall because this line comes down in the middle of the brick. We're going to keep going straight across. You can see that I didn't leave quite enough space there, but that's okay. And we'll go all the way across until we're all the way done with the whole paper. All right, that looks great. Now we're gonna let it dry for a little while before we move on to the next part. All right, now that my wall is nice and dry, I am going to carefully cut out my name. Mine is all connected together. If yours are separate letters, you can cut out each letter separately. Now I'll glue it down. And when it's finished, I can place it on. I don't necessarily have to place it on straight. I could place it on diagonal if I wanted to. And the last step that is optional is if you would like to take some of these oil pastels and make some additional graffiti. I wouldn't suggest making any more words because you might end up making a mistake that you don't like and you don't really get a second chance at this. But you could, for example, just make some other little lines or things that make it look like it's part of a graffitied wall. Great work. I hope you enjoyed it. That is our final step for our graffiti art.